Hey, it's your girl, Delisa Robinson, the real estate diva, out here in the real estate streets. Well, I will be out in the real estate streets pretty soon. I have a couple of houses that I have to go see and check out. And I also have a few properties to showcase over the weekend. I'm going to be bringing to you the process of going through the process of wholesaling a house. So, with that being said, grab your pens, grab your papers. Let's start taking notes. We're going to be talking about hard money loans. Now, a hard money loan is just that. It's hard. It's asset based. So, for those of you who are new to me, let me introduce myself. My name is Delisa Robinson. I will be your favorite real estate diva out here in these real estate streets. I've been out here in these real estate streets for a pretty long time, 25 years. I've pretty much done everything except the two things that are up here that are getting ready to come out on paper and do things. And that's one, I want to own an apartment building, and two, I want to own a resort. Those are the only two things I have not done as of yet in new construction. Other than that, done it all. So what I am getting ready to do today is I've been going over in this series, we've been going over the process of funding, how to get your real estate deals funded. And this is the process of hard money loans. Today, we're going to talk about hard money loans because I'm pretty sure if you are really interested in real estate, you've heard of a hard money loan before, but you might not quite know how they work. Right? So today, we're going to break this down. So what I suggest that you do is share this live with a friend, invite a friend. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, and turn your notifications on so you know when I am going to go live with this training. However, hard money lending, this is a topic that every real estate investor should know because it can get you in trouble if you don't do it right. Big trouble if you don't do it right. So grab your pens and papers or whatever it is that you use to take notes, because we are about to begin today's session. Now, what is, and I'm going to show you, just so you guys know, I take notes, so I make sure I stay on track. See? Okay. Now, what I want you to do, like I said, tag your people in, take notes. If this is not something you want to do, take notes anyway, because it might be something you want. Many people come to me and they say, I want to wholesale. Why do you want to wholesale? Because I want to learn, I want to stack cash so that I want to stack some cash so that I can flip houses. This is the loan that's going to help you flip houses. If you've been watching me, you don't really have to wholesale. You don't have to wholesale unless you want to. You don't have to wholesale because if you set up your business the right way, I'm going to show you how to use your credit and this hard money loan so that you don't have to come out of pocket with anything. No cash out of pocket. The things that I've learned and things that I've made mistakes on is the things that I teach you so that you don't make the same mistakes that I did. All right. Now, what is a hard money loan? A hard money loan is an asset value based loan. I'll say it again. It's an asset value based loan. This is where the loan is based on the value of the property that you are trying to flip, buy and hold, renovate, lease out, whatever it is that you want to do with it, Airbnb. That's what a hard money loan is. So when we say, what is a hard money loan? How do we make this work? What do we do with it? That's what we're going to go over today. Okay. So an asset value based loan, that means it is based on the after repair value of the property. So you guys know, I've gone over it several times. You have what we call comparables. Your property that you're going to flip. So this case, we're going to use a flip. Okay. The property that you're going to flip, that's your subject property. Okay. So now you have to find comps. Comps are comparable properties that are comparable to the property that you want to flip. You want to find at least 4. Sometimes 3 will work. Sometimes 5 is necessary to get you the value that you need. So you want to do at least 3 to 5 comparable properties. Comparable means they are within 300 feet up or down square footage. So if your subject property is 1,000 square feet, you can't go higher than 1,300. You can't go lower than 700. So that's that. And for square footage, you also want to look, you want to be in bedrooms. How many bedrooms, how many bathrooms? If your subject property has 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, then your comparable properties should have 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. They have to have sold within a 1 mile radius of where your subject property is. So you can't cross a major highway or a major street, because then you're into a different neighborhood and a different tax bracket sometimes. So you don't want to do that. So you want the 4 highest comps that have sold within the last year if you're in a normal market, within 6 months if you're in a seller's market. Okay. And you want to put that property, you want to get the 4, and you want to average the price that was sold. So the average price is what is ARV, after repair value. So you want the 4 highest because you want the ones that sold after. You want the ones that have sold for the highest most recently, so that you get to that point of the value of what your property will be valued at once it's renovated. Hey, Kyra, how you doing, doll? So that's what you want. So you want to know what your property will be valued at once it's renovated. So that's why you want the 4 highest sold with the comparable requirements. ARV, bathrooms, bedrooms. Okay? Okay. Now, I'm not going to go into how to calculate all that because that's a different class on a different day. We are talking about hard money lending. Now, you will be given the funds. A hard money loan will give you the funds to purchase and renovate. Now, I'm telling y'all always say, oh no, Lisa, I can't find a loan like that. That's because y'all going to the bank. And the only bank that offers, there are some banks that offer commercial loans, and they will give you normal residential rates, but they won't give it to you in a business name. They will give it to you under your personal name, but you want this in your business name because you don't want to affect your personal credit by doing this, right? Right. So you want that. So you want to make sure it's what you need. So you put it on the right way. So what we do is we have this loan is for investors. This is not a loan you're going to use to live in a property. You can't live in the property with this loan. Okay. You're not supposed to. Anyway, I know a lot of people who do, but you're not supposed to. So you want to make sure that this loan, they're going to give you the money to purchase, and they're going to give you the money to renovate. Now, on the consumer side, because this is considered a commercial loan, on the consumer side, there is a loan that is like this. It's called a 203K loan. It's FHA 203K. So if you find a property that's a little rundown, needs a little love, and you want to move into it because you do have to live in it with those loans, you have to move into it, then you go ahead and you do that. Okay. All right. That's a different loan on a different day. Now, they will give you the money to purchase and profit. They will pull your credit. I don't know where on earth this came from, but they are going to pull your credit. Some lenders will do a soft pull. Some lenders will do a hard pull. It depends on the lender. Why are they pulling your personal credit to give you a commercial loan in your business name? Because they are looking for the terms. That's all they want to know. The terms of the loan. Are you able to handle? What can you handle? And what they're going to do is they're going to say, okay, so this John, let's just say John. John is over here. John has an 800 credit score, or a 750 or a 680 and up. John can now buy and hold using a personal loan, using a hard money loan. John can now do a 30-year mortgage with a hard money loan. Susan, who has a 540 credit score, cannot. Okay. She has to do this for a fix and flip until she gets her personal credit corrected. This is why we tell you guys, get your personal credit corrected while you're building business credit as well. Okay. Now, if y'all with me, drop the number 1 in the comments. I want to see who's paying attention, who's here, who's not. Let's see. Because I'm going to give you some lenders that you can go through as well to get this done. My 2 favorites. I'm going to give you my 2 favorites to go through. besides coming to me, because as of August 15th, we will have the lending division open so that you guys can come directly to us. Excuse me, I just knocked the tripod over. You can come directly to us in order to get your loans. Okay. Now, so put the number 1 in the chat, and I'm just going to sit here and wait because I need to make sure you guys are understanding exactly what it is. Now, if you are interested in flipping houses, this is the type of loan that most flippers use. Okay. So let's do it again. They will pull your personal credit, but they're only pulling your personal credit to see what your terms are for this hard money loan. Are you going to have to put down 30%? Are you going to have to put down 50%? Are you going to have to put down 20%, 10%, or nothing? That's why they're pulling your personal credit. Okay. Are they going to allow you to do it for 2 years, 1 year, 3 years, 30 years? That's why they're pulling your personal credit. Okay. Now, the average loan term for a hard money loan is 12 to 36 months. So 1 to 3 years. That's it. That's all. 1 to 3 years. That is the average length. That is like the length, and you pay a lot of interest only payments up front. And we're going to talk about that when we get down to how much money you need for these loans. Okay. You pay a lot of that money up front because you pay a lot of money up front because, interest only payments, because these loans are made to make money for the bank. How do banks make their money on loans? The interest. They loaned you the money. If I loan you $100,000, that money is going to the person you're buying the house from. That's not coming to the bank. That's where the bank makes their money on the interest payments. So that's why when you do hard money loans, you do end up paying a lot of interest only payments. Okay. Now, some of the pros of doing hard money loans. First of all, you can get higher approvals. The reason why you get a higher approval because the loan is asset based. So depending on what the after repair value is of your subject property, your asset, that determines if you can get the hard money loan or the dollar amount that you're going to get. So a lot of people are getting higher value loans. Okay. Now I'll give you an example. I have a client right now that I'm thinking of. I'm not going to say a name because that's their business, but they can't get a $200,000 mortgage on their own, but their business can go and get a $200,000 hard money loan to purchase and renovate a flip. Sure can. Do you have to flip it? No. You just have to pay out that loan at the end of the term. So like I said, most loans are 1 to 3 years. So if you can flip it and pay it off, that's great. But if you can't flip it right away and pay it off, you got at least another 2 or 3 years. These loans are also, another good thing about these loans is they're negotiable. You can negotiate your terms. If they come back and say, oh, we can give you $100,000 for a year, you say, no, I'm gonna need 18 months at least because I want to make sure once the project is done, I get a chance to sell it. And I want to sell it for the value that it is. And you can refinance these loans into other loans. That's another good plus. Once your term is up, you can refinance and get out of the con, which is the higher interest rates. You have some hard money loans. While y'all was getting 2, 3, 4% on the retail, on the residential side, these hard money loans was coming in at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, sometimes 12% interest. These hard money loans where you can do 3.5% down, some of these loans are going 20, 30, 40, sometimes even 50. If you want to purchase. Sometimes the higher the percentage is usually, sometimes you can refinance. So that comes on the refinance side as well. So that's where it is. Okay. So that's where you want to keep that in mind. Okay. Everybody's still with me because I don't want to lose anybody and I don't want y'all saying, oh, Delise, I didn't understand it. And I'm being honest with you. These lives are coming down. So they're going to stay up for a certain period of time and then they're coming down. So I want you guys to be able to understand Ask the questions in the comments. I'll always come back and read the comments. So if you got questions, come back in the comments and I will ask the questions in the comments. If I don't get to it on this live, I will definitely come back and answer them for you. Okay. Now, and the best part about a hard money loan, because it's asset based, you don't have to have income documents. You don't need a tax return. You don't need a bank statement. You don't need a pay stub. So that makes for a quicker turnaround. Okay. You can be in and out of a hard money loan from an application to close with, in some cases, 7 to 10 days, depending on title. And at the most, lately, the most I've seen was 30. As long as you got clear title, it's 30. But I did have one loan where it wasn't a clear title. I had a client who had a loan. It wasn't a clear title. It took them 6 months to close because there were some issues with the title. But it wasn't on the buyer side. It was on the seller side. So the seller had to, get that fixed. Now, like I said before, why are these loans bad? Interest rates. These interest rates are always going to be higher. They're always going to be higher. I don't want you guys to come out here saying, oh, but Delisa, you said. No, I'm telling you what I said. And I said that these interest rates are high as heck. Okay. The down payments will vary based on your terms. You might get an 80-20 where they will give you 80%. They will give you up to 80% of the after repair value for purchase or rehab. They might do 100% financing, but they're only going to give you a certain percentage. So they might give you 80% of the purchase and 100% of the rehab. So if you want a $100,000 home, you buy $50,000, you need $50,000 in work. We're just using round numbers. If I buy a house for $50,000, they're going to give me 80% of that, which is $40,000. Okay. Now at $40,000, then I have to come up with that other 10. They might give me 100% of the rehab. So in essence, what they're going to give me is they're going to give me $80,000. So they're going to give me, I'm sorry, y'all know I'm bad at math, cut it out. That's why we have one of these. So if I have $50,000 as purchase price and they're going to give me 80% of that, that's $40,000, like I said. So I have to come up with that other 10. Now, if they're going to give me 100% of the rehab value, the construction budget, that's going to be 50. So they're giving me $90,000. I still have to come up with 10,000. And that's not all I got to come up with. So don't let that 20% fool you, is what I'm saying. Sometimes they give you 90%. Sometimes they'll give you 100%. That's a foot where you don't have to come up with anything out of pocket, but you do. Even on a 100% loan, you still have to come up with some money out of pocket. You have to prove that you have money. You need money to get this project started, because how do these loans work? Let's talk about it. Get into it. Okay. Remember I said these hard money loans are only for businesses. That means you have your LLC, you have your corporation, S Corp, C Corp, LLC. You cannot do this with a DBA. Okay. That's number one. Number two, you have to have an EIN. You have to have a business bank account in your business name, business bank account. You have to have an operating agreement. We talked about this a while ago, many moons ago. We talked about this. We talked about this in my Get Wired Wholesaling Academy. We talked about this in the Get Wired Bootcamp. We talked about this on the live. You have to have your business properly structured in order to get the loans and the funding that you need. I'll say it again. You have to have your business properly structured in order for you to get the loans and the value of what you need. In order to be funded correctly, you have to get your loans, your business structured properly. That's most important. I'm not going to try and sugarcoat that, and I'm not going to do it. Okay. So you need articles of organization. You need a business bank statement. You need an operating agreement. You're going to need a fully executed real estate contract. That means you have a fully executed contract. You have a seller, you have a buyer, and they have signed an agreement that one is going to sell, the other agrees to purchase this property, because that goes to your lender. because they want to know the terms of your contract with the buyer, with the seller. You also have to have a construction budget. This is a very detailed, itemized construction budget. If you're going to say, I'm putting up 100 sheets of drywall, you have to have the drywall, the nails, the mud, everything needs to be on that contract. Okay. Now, you're also going to need, if you are new and if you are old in the game, you are going to need what they call the real estate resume. Now, what is your real estate resume? They really want you to have at least 3 to 5 homes that you have flipped in the past 24 months. Okay. Now, why? Because that shows your experience. That shows you know what you're doing. You flip these houses. How do they prove that? The HUD-1 or the closing statement, whatever you want to call it. Okay. So you are going to need that. If you don't have that, because you're brand new and brand new people can get hard money loans. Don't let the people tell you you can't. You can. If you're brand new in the game, your business isn't seasoned yet, you haven't done anything under the business, you're going to be able to do this. You're going to write down the experience of everyone on your team. Okay? Everyone on your team, you're going to write down the experience. So if you have a real estate agent that's on your team, that's letting somebody know there's a real estate professional on board. So they might not require your contractor to have insurance. So, a license. Anything can happen. They may not verify it. They require it, but they may not verify it because you've done this a while. You did this a long time. So you do it. So that's how it goes. So you want to make sure that you have your articles of organization, your EIN, your operating agreement, your bank accounts set up, your fully executed contract, a construction budget, and a real estate resume. A construction budget, just to put it in layman's terms so you understand, it's an estimate of the work that needs to be done on the property that you have purchased. It's the money that they're going to give you to fix up the property. Now, one day soon and very soon, I'm going to be going into grave detail on a construction budget and I'm going to have to do that on a Zoom because I'm going to have to share my screen. Okay. So that's that process. Now, what else do you need to get this loan? You need startup money because you have a property that needs to be renovated and you have a bank that's going to give you the funds, but they're not just going to cut you a check. Hard money loans are on a draw basis. Delete said, what's draw? Draw means that you're going to have your loan. Like I said, they're going to give you $50,000 for the renovation. You have to have startup money. So say you have $20,000, $10,000 is going towards down payment. The other $10,000 you're going to put in the bank and show that you have this reserve to get your project started. You're going to do this in phases. In my flipping courses, in some lives that I'm going to do coming up, we're going to talk about flipping and I'll give you the phases and what they do and what you should be doing at each phase. But for right now, in this phase, phase 1 is demolition. So you're going to have your demo, securing your building, which is your roof, your doors, your windows, so that there's no water, no elements, no break-ins, things like that, camera security, stuff like that. So then what you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, once I finished phase 1, you're going to call the bank and say, hey, we need an inspector to come out. They're going to send out an inspector. The inspector is going to inspect all of the work that you say you did. Some inspectors will go ahead and give you credit for half the work if you've done some other parts of it. Some of them will give you no credit, just only credit on the jobs that you finished. Okay. So what I want you to do is understand this is how it's going to work. You have to put money up front. So if you don't have at least the 30% that you're supposed to give to your contractor, or the 25%, whatever your agreement is with your contractor, to put that money together to start your project, then that's what you're going to have. So you have that $10,000 to get your project started. You're able to get the demo done. You were able to get new windows, new doors, and they started the roof anyway because you had more money. You went and put some money on a credit card or whatever, or you got the materials from somewhere else, whatever, however you did it. So now they come out and they see, but on you only did $10,000, but they see that, hey, the demo budget was 6,000. The doors are done. All the doors in the house are done. That was another 2,000. So now you're up to 8. They see that you got the roof done. Oh, you got the roof done. Well, the roof was 15,000 of your budget. So now you got the 6, the 2, that's 8, the 15,000. So now you're up to $23,000 just off your 10,000 that you put in. So now they're going to cut you a check for the 23,000. You're going to take your 10 probably and put it back in your pocket. That's what a lot of people do. And I'm going to tell you that's not what you should do. What you should do is put that check into your business account and go ahead and finish out your project. The draw money is not for you to live on. It's not for you to be reimbursed. And if you are going to be reimbursed, you're going to be reimbursed once it's done. Don't try and take money out of that beforehand, because what happens is there's this little thing called shit happens. Okay. And you don't know once you open up the walls, you don't know that something's going to be right. You might have a termite problem that you didn't put in your budget. And now that 23,000 is contingency money. So that's why you just don't do it. You might want to put a little bit out to pay some workers, but the rest of that money should go back into reinvesting and getting that project completed. Because you want to remember, you paying high interest. Your payments that you're paying on this loan are interest only. Sometimes they're going to want you to have reserves of payments. You might have to have 3 to 6 months worth of payments. So if you got $1,000 payment every month, that's anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000 in additional that you got to prove that you got in the bank. And sometimes you have to pay that money up front to the lender. And that way they'll say, oh, well, you don't have a payment for your first 3 to 6 months. However many months of reserves you had is how many times you don't have to pay that mortgage until that payment comes up. So it's like paying it in advance. So you then want to say, hey, you know what? Let me check this out. Let me leave this 23,000 in here. So now you got 23,000 on a project that was only 50,000. You already put 10 into it. Now you got 23. You almost completely done with this project at that point. There are some hard money lenders will send out, they will give you 2 to 3 free inspections. And then they charge you for each inspection every time they send an inspector out, because they have to pay for that. You get what I'm saying now? So you want to make sure that you have all that stuff together. Okay. You're going to need money for startup. You're going to need money for your appraisal. You're going to need money for your insurance. You're going to need money for your inspections. You're going to need money for your points. What are points, Elisa? Points is how the mortgage broker gets paid. For every point, it's a percentage of what you borrowed. So in this case, you're borrowing $90,000. So if my points are 2,000, you're paying me 1,800. 2 points, that's 2%, that's 1,800. Because I borrowed 90,000, okay? So 90,000 times 0.02, because y'all don't believe me, it's 1,800. Okay? And these are the things that you're going to have to do. Now, do you guys understand this? You got any questions about this? Feel free to ask the questions, because I don't want anyone walking away from here not knowing what a hard money loan is, what the draw process is like, or anything. Now, fun fact, on the residential side with this FHA 203K loan, the homeowner, the buyer, does not have to have reserves to get the project started. Guess who has to have the reserves? The contractor. Yep, the contractor has to have the reserves. Now, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of contractors that won't do that. And that's why they don't take that FHA 203K loan work. But there are some who's like, you know what? Let me do this. I have a team. I have a system. I've done it before. So if I have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 different projects going and they're all 203K, guess what? I'm going to get a check every week. And the reason for that is because there's a system that you put in place for that. So I have this house house number 1 is getting demo and security done. Boom. We're starting over here. You close, we start. Now, Then that team's going to move to house number 2. And now my HVAC, plumbing, and electric is going to come in. Then that team is going to move to house number 1, 2, and the team from number 2 is going to move to house number 3 and do demo and security, demo and security, demo and security. And they're going to follow each other through this process. And that is how you have a system of homes and properties that are being renovated that can actually make you money and be profitable. But y'all didn't hear me on that. Y'all didn't peep that out. Okay, so that's it for hard money loans. My name is Lisa Robinson. If you're just now joining us, or if you're watching this on a replay, we talked about hard money loans. We're talking about how they work, how you can get them, and what do you use them for, and how do you use them. Now, a lot of times when I said about people holding the reimbursement money from them getting their project started, they'll take the 10,000 out and keep the 13,000 going. That's not smart. That's not smart. And not only that, but you should be paying your contractor in phases anyway. Either, hey, I'm going to pay you 20% every phase until we're done, or I'm going to give you 20, 30, 20, 25% down, and then I'll give you halfway, I'll give you another 20, 25 to 30%, however you want to do it. You want to break this up 30, 30, 33 and a third, 33 and a third, 33 and a third. Here's 33% down. I'll give you another 33% once we reach the halfway point. And then once we complete it and I walk through and I check off on everything, I'll give you the final payment. That you can do that. You should be doing that. You should also be offering your contractor incentives if they finish ahead of time, and a penalty if they're late. Because every day that you're late, you're holding a loan, and that loan is an interest-only payment loan, and you're holding it for X amount of days or nights or whatever, and you have to have it. So, and that money is costing you holding costs. And that's something we're going to go over. I'm going to try and come back later tonight and we'll talk about holding costs and closing costs, because those are two very different things, but they are equally important when you're flipping a house. Okay. Now, don't forget, text the word DIVA to 716-306-3316. You will get live alerts and free trainings on when I'm going to go live. You'll get live alerts from when I'm going to go live. You text that, and I think you will get, I think the Creative Finance Strategies training is there for your liking. The link is there for you to get into the Creative Finance Strategies training for free. And it starts immediately as soon as you text and get it. It gets sent to you, and you can go and watch it. Also, we are in week 4. Today is the last day. Week 4. Well, Saturday will be, because we didn't have class Tuesday night. Saturday will be the last day for the week 4 of the Get Wired Wholesaling Academy. We have had some major successes. We have people who have built buyers lists. We got a couple of ladies who have gone to see properties already, and they're in the terms of negotiating. We have one person who has a property under contract already. So we are doing it in the Wholesaling Academy. So stick and stay with us so you understand exactly what it is that we are doing. And we're going to show you some results of this and how this can best benefit you. Now, someone asked me, am I doing another Wholesaling Academy? No. I'll answer that right now. Not in 2023. There will be not another one. The next academy is going to be in November, and it will be all about building your $1 million portfolio. So we're going to build assets. This is why knowing about these loans and the different ways you can fund your projects is so important, because that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be using Creative Finance Strategies and OPM to get you done. Now, I promised you guys I would say this and show you this. Now, last night on Kyra's Live, Credit Cleanse, on their live, they gave a gem of a gem of a gem. And she doesn't have it up anymore. She took it down. Where she told you about a bank, and I'm not going to say the bank and I did it, and I am doing it. You put your money in this bank, they're going to give you a line of credit. Now, I just said that you need $10,000 towards your closing costs. So you take that line of credit and this loan, and you put them together. That way you pay no money out of your own pocket and you can flip your first house. You don't need to wholesale real estate, but it's good for you to know how to wholesale real estate if you want to flip houses. Now, at the very least, you save the money from the wholesaler because you don't pay their assignment fee. But then again, you might not want to look into all that and be researching all the properties and all that stuff that we do on that side. So put a wholesaler on your team. I got a whole bunch of them that's learning the process and they know exactly what to do, how to do, and when to do it and where to do it to make you the most money. So tap in. If you're a buyer and you're looking to get into either land or a renovation or a new construction or a mobile home park, inbox me that you are a buyer with your email and your phone number, and I will send you the list. The list is going out tonight at about 7 because I work simultaneously. Tonight is class. We have Get Wired Wholesale Academy tonight at 7 p.m. So right after that, the list is going to go out. Or it'll be first thing in the morning because I usually try to do it on a Friday to keep it consistent. So it will be first thing in the morning that is going out. And this list is all of the available properties that are available through my nationwide network of wholesalers, real estate agents, and the likes. So get on the buyers list. You can click the link in the bio. If you're on Instagram, tap the button. If you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, go to my website and you will be able to click the button and says, hey, I want to know about these available properties. You can fill it out and you can join the list. You'll get put on the list. The list gets updated weekly. And if I get new hot deals during the week, I will text them out to my list so that people know. I will email and text them out to the list. So that's what we're doing. Okay, guys? Alrighty. I got to get out of here because I have a crap ton of stuff to do between now and class. So as I always say, if this is your first time being here, I hope it won't be your last. And if you've been here before, thank you for coming back. I appreciate you. Love and like you a lot. Remember, you can choose to be anything you want in this world. I just hope you choose to be kind because at some point in your life, someone was kind to you, and it's always good to pay kindness forward. Not only does paying kindness forward make you a good person, but if enough of us do it, makes the world a better place. So I will see you guys. If not later tonight, I'll definitely see you tomorrow. Okay? Have a great one. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.